You ever feel like you have too many shoes? I have very few shoes. I have three main pairs of shoes: my boots, my slightly more substantial shoes, and then my slip-on shoes. They're my favourite. Plus formal and gym shoes, that sort of thing. My slip-on shoes are for summer and when I can't be bothered. Boots are for winter and rain, and the other shoes are for in between. Each shoe has its place, and I know when to put each pair on. It's raining, boots. It's sunny, slip-ons. Sorted. Each pair is fairly neutral colours, so they go with everything. I don't need to worry about them not fitting my outfit or clashing with my black trousers. Because all of my trousers are black. The slip-on shoes have a special place in my heart. I remember my first pair. They were cheap Vans copies with camouflage on the front, and I always remember picking them as my shoes for the day. Maybe that's why I like the more wild Vans shoes. Anyway, the main reason I like them is because they're easy and they don't take as long as other shoes. You don't have to fiddle with laces, and they don't come undone as you're walking, and they don't fall off. It's actually magical. Taking them off is easy too. Just hold your heel with the other foot. Don't even need to use your hands. Truly the best user experience I've ever had with shoes. So that's why I wear them almost exclusively and have very few pairs of shoes. If my shoe rack was filled with shoes, I wouldn't know what to do with them. Which outfit goes with what shoes? Did I wear these last week? Is the weather suitable for these shoes? How much have I worn them? Do I need to get new ones? Do they match the style I'm going for? Nah, fuck all that. You got one pair, wear them out until they're destroyed, buy a new pair, continue until you die. The main reason I like them is honestly just because they help me cut down the decisions I have to make every day. Because, they're just shoes. Having fewer pairs means it's already decided for me when it comes to shoe choice, and I can focus on other more important things. Like that. Or that. Yeah, that's the one. See, I have a bit of a problem. I get really bad decision paralysis. That's when I have a few options to pick from, so I just don't. I get stuck. And this led me to pretty much not do anything for like a year after uni. I just worked at a supermarket, and it fucking sucked. My decision paralysis stopped me from progressing in my life and moving on to do other things. Should I go traveling? Should I try to get a job? Should I try and start a business? Should I try and become a pro blackjack player? I didn't like working at the supermarket, so I caused myself a lot of pain and dissatisfaction by not picking something. If I don't pick a pair of shoes, it's probably going to hurt. If I have too many options, I tend to agonise over which decision to make. I spend my time wondering if it's the right decision rather than just getting on with things. I get put into a trance where I don't pick anything but then get anxious because I know I have to pick something. And the weight of that decision on my brain just increases and it makes the whole thing worse. So if I cut down on my options, I can cut down on the stress. I figured out two solutions that worked for me: fate and simplifying. To give my decision to fate is to release most of the control I have. Whether I actually had control or not is a different question entirely. Delivering your options to fate and letting her pick is a potentially good way of dealing with this issue. You take all the thinking out of the decision, and the only decision is what side of a coin you pick. Within 5 seconds, you can have your answer. The only problem is narrowing down your options to getting two. Like, you're bound to have more than two. Like, you could do rounds of decisions, maybe like a bracketing system, but that kind of ends up defeating the point to a degree. So that's where the next solution comes into play. When I simplify, I limit the amount of options I'll have in the future, so I have to pick from that smaller amount of options. Better yet, if I only have one thing that I can pick, I have to pick it. What am I going to do? Go outside without my shoes? Simplifying gives me more control over my shoes. If I only have one pair of shoes, and I know they're good, I have to pick it. I've done the legwork before to limit the number of decisions. I can make that decision now for my future self. I have to pick the white slip-on Vans. This takes the mental burden off the here and now. See, I tend to act irrationally when I'm under pressure, be that real or perceived. So a limit on the number of options does really help me. If there were two restaurants and they both look good, I'll just flip a coin. This isn't just for shoes or restaurants though. I try and limit my decisions in a lot of different ways. My ideal wardrobe would be 3 pairs of black trousers, 7 or 8 t-shirts, all the same colour, a nice jacket, a pair of shoes for each weather and situation, and a few hoodies. I've been told in the past that I dress like a cartoon character because I wear the same thing every day, and I kind of like that. Wearing the same thing every day would free up some of my mental bandwidth. Now, I understand that the impact my wardrobe has on my mental bandwidth is small. But it all adds up. I'd rather use those resources on things that matter. Or at least I think matter. Decision fatigue can set in when I have to make too many decisions. Even small ones affect me, even if I don't immediately notice it. I make bad decisions frequently around dinner time. The issue is not just the amount of decisions, but the complexity and weight of those decisions too. So picking my shoes, for instance, has a lot less weight and complexity than naming my firstborn son. So if I do some work to mitigate the complexity of my decisions, I might just have some mental bandwidth left over. Obama would pretty much only wear blue and grey suits so that he could cut down on the amount and complexity of the decisions he had to make. I am like 9,000 times more likely to go to the gym if I lay my gym stuff out the night before. The decision has been made for me before I wake up, when my decision making is filtered through grogginess and half-remembered dreams of still working at that supermarket. Forcing myself to go in the morning means that I can make a better decision easier at the start of the day, before the decision fatigue is really set in. Not only that, but I don't have to spend the time rummaging through my cupboard trying to find my gym gear, so the time investment of that decision is reduced too. Pre-deciding and putting out my gym stuff the night before means that I am nudging my future self to make the right and healthy decision. If I pre-decide and limit my options, I can be more likely to do things that will help me in the long run. I want to caveat this by saying that I am not a productivity guru or anything like that. I am legendarily lazy. Multiple teachers at my school all said that I did the bare minimum to get by. So I am very prone to not following through on the decisions I have pre-made. I mean, fuck me, my last video was like 9 months ago. Like, I routinely still hit snooze when I need to go to the gym, and then don't go. Do not get me wrong, I am not particularly good at doing the right thing all the time. But I do believe what I'm saying, and I do try. I just still sometimes go to the gym. I also do like simple shoes. Maybe like a bracketing system, but I kind of ends up defeating the point of the degree. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know how to finish this video. I just wanted to make a video about why I like slip-on shoes. Maybe I focused on the gym stuff too much. I just want to try and keep my life simple, because if it's simple, there's less hassle to deal with. I'm sure you can relate. You know, life can get so complicated with bills, work, hanging out with friends. There's that one video game you want to play, but you need to go do the washing, and the dishes also need done too. Guinea pigs need cleaned as well, but then you need to go shopping to also get food, and then you need to cook that food for dinner. This all adds up on top of me sometimes, and it can feel overwhelming. So by trying to keep one aspect of my life simple, I can bring myself just a little bit of joy and peace. If I can extend that to other parts of my life, I might just bring myself a bit more peace. Don't we fucking need that sometimes?